what we're watching in this video. There is some foul language you might detect. Also, of course, gunshots.
Yeah, this is interesting. This is interesting, Jake, because this is something we didn't really know, is that the car was clearly stopped. This is by the James Garfield Memorial, which is not very far from the Capitol steps, really. And when this car is cutting right here, it is cutting between the steps of the Capitol, where the president takes his oath of office, and the National Mall. And then when the car starts circling around here, it's driving around sort of the mirror image roundabout, or circular, if you want to call it there. This one's called actually the Peace Memorial, that this car is circling around right now. And then it sort of breaks for the back there, Jake. And it's really quite interesting. If we get back to the top of this again in a moment, after the car goes out of sight, you can see where it was stopped there in the beginning, really pulled up to the curb and quite surrounded by officers. And then when it backs up, you will watch that it appears to hit the police car that's pulled in behind it. And there's still no gunfire at that point. Watch as it lurches backward. Watch the car behind it. It comes back and you see the movement of it hitting that police car. And these officers are still not shooting.
You can see why the police officers believed her behavior erratic. There's the gunshots, about 7 shots that they fired at her.
Yeah, and that was quite a period of time there. We'd have to look at it, Jake, but you've been around police situations. A tremendous amount of training, actually, in that circumstance for police to not fire sooner when a car like that is truly being used as a weapon to batter its way out from a position like that. And then, as you can see, they're right on her tail here for a moment, and then there's a little bit of separation here as she starts heading toward the other side of the Capitol. I would say the back of the Capitol, but it's actually the front of the Capitol, the part that faces the Supreme Court. So Jake, I think it's going to be interesting to analyze this again from this point. Look, this is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're talking about 10, 12 seconds there from the time the car starts moving again until the gunfire, and we don't know how long she was at that curb or what was happening at that curb. We also don't know yet if this child was in the car, as we now believe, how the officers were unable to see that, or why they were unable to see a child in the car at that point.
And Tom, let's also discuss for a second, if we could, what the officers know at this point as this scene takes place. They know that police at the White House are suggesting that this woman was behaving erratically and had hit one of the barriers at the White House, had been pursued through Washington on Constitution Avenue, I suppose, for the 1 to 2 miles between the White House and Congress. They come here. This is just, as you say, right near Capitol Hill.
Oh, this is if you were the president, if you were the president taking the oath of office, you could watch all of this easily from that position. Obviously, it would be relatively close. The other thing that, as you know, Jake, that I think we should impress upon our viewers here, the area you're looking at right now, on a normal day when nothing is happening, has some of the highest security you'll find anywhere in this country, precisely because it's so close to the Capitol. If you did anything erratic in that area on a normal day, you would have a police response, and it would be something much smaller than what this woman was doing. You would draw police to you very quickly. We all know that in the news media because we go up there all the time. So you're correct, Jake. This is to have the warm-up of her coming from the White House down here, even if she had no traffic at all, that would take her several minutes to get to this position. So they were aware of the situation for a while. And obviously, when you look at the cars arrayed around there, they had her pulled over. It doesn't look like she just pulled over and stopped there. They were surrounding her. And yet she sort of battered her way out.
And just as context,